Aloha and good evening, everyone. I'm Savvy Makalena. I'm the founder and CEO of Give Me a Break. Give Me a Break is a nonprofit organization that's caring for caregivers. That's what we do. We do what we do for caregivers. And so our mission is to provide resources and support to create more well-being and wellness for caregivers. And so tonight I am talking about how to survive caregiving. And so it is caregiver survival, what's in your kit, not your wallet, but in your kit. And so I'm going to be sharing screen now so that hopefully you can all see. If any, but thank you for being here this evening. Your time is precious. Okay, so caregiver survival, what's in your kit? Here we go. So just like in the case that you might have an emergency kit, for, say, some sort of natural disaster, or some of us keep it around here in Hawaii because of hurricanes. We have little or no warning when sometimes that happens. Thankfully, now there is a little bit more of a warning. They're able to track hurricanes a lot better than they were previously, but still, things could happen. An emergency could come up, and we could be taken by surprise. And of course, we grab what we have and we hope for the best. Some of those survival kits may be water or food or even a flashlight, right? In fact, we may even have a bottle of water, maybe the light on our phone, and we didn't plan and put together an emergency kit. Well, again, just like those disasters, most of us are thrust right into caregiving. We go from calm to chaos overnight, literally overnight, and we're unable to really navigate what we're doing. We maybe didn't even have time to prepare for that. We may be caregiving now, or you may be knowing that caregiving is coming, but it still sort of happens, and the next thing you know, you're immersed in it. We kind of became caregivers without even any knowledge, not even realizing what we were going to be up against or what we were in for. So in hopes that maybe this will help you either pre or even in caregiving now, or if you've already been a caregiver and you can support others, or maybe even release some of that trauma and understand that you didn't do anything wrong. We're going to try to build that kit for you now. So here's what you need in a caregiver survivor kit that is for you, for not necessarily in tangible items like a flashlight or bottles of water or food. These are more intangible. And so these are the top 10 caregiver kit intangibles. Number one, you need to have vision. So remember, this isn't something you hold in your hand. This is an intangible object. And you need to have vision for what you're doing. Vision for what is a good life for you and the one you're caring for, your caree. A lot of times when we get caught up in caregiving, we think about what can we do to make the life of our caree better? And in the meantime, we forget about ourselves. And we forget as caregivers that we need to have a good life, and that's only fair, and it's completely acceptable for you to do so. So you need to make time to see your vision and not lose sight of that. It's really vital for caregiver survival to list both yours and your caregiver's visions for a good life. I mean, sit down and talk about it. Sit down and talk about what makes a good life for you, what makes a good life for your caree. Have discussions. When I was caring for my mother before her dementia got really bad, we used to have these discussions. We used to talk about it all the time. And I think it made a really big difference in how I was able to care for her and how I was able to find myself and keep myself throughout caregiving. So make time to talk about the wants and the don't wants in life. And who else would you talk about that with but your caree? Also, you don't want to burden your caree. So another person you can talk to about that, wow, that was fun, there we go, is number two, your safe person. Your safe person is someone, excuse me, someone who listens to you. They put up with your rants and your problems, and they never make you feel like you can't say anything. You can say whatever you want. So I want you to think right now about maybe who that safe person is for you. And if you don't have a safe person, don't worry. In the end, you'll have us, and you'll have Give Me a Break, and I'll talk more about that. But you never really have to apologize to this person. It's okay. You don't have to make excuses or anything. It's somebody who will validate your feelings and your experiences, and even those feelings that you have, whether they're positive or negative. They'll laugh with you or cry with you, and that's what a safe person is. So put that in your kit. Keep your vision in there, your dreams, your hopes. What's a good life for you? And then number two, you need to find a safe person. And this is, by the way, a safe person isn't necessarily somebody you're in a relationship with, or that so it's not going to be like your partner or your spouse. It's going to be someone that's completely out of that picture. It might just be a really good friend, or someone that it could be someone in the clergy, it could be somebody in your church, it could be someone at work. And a safe person is somebody who's a little more outside of what's directly happening to you in your caregiving experience. So once you have your safe person, then you need to think about who's going to watch your caree so that you have time to talk to your safe person, because getting away from caregiving isn't always easy. So number three to put into your caregiving survival kit is called a love sub, or a love substitute. A love substitute is a great, great job for siblings, children, grandchildren, because it's a way of giving affection and care that your caree needs when you are running low. It's a substitute. A lot of times when you're the primary caregiver, boy, it just takes everything out of you. It takes everything out of you, right? Sorry, Sarah, we're admitting somebody. So it's going to just take everything you have and everything you can do to muster up to help that person to feel love and affection. Aloha and welcome, Vera. Please mute and turn off your video. Thank you for joining us. We'll have questions at the end. And while she figures that out, there you go. So, oh, and I went back a screen. So maybe that was because I needed to review. There you go. So again, a substitute. So this is a substitute, which is a really, sometimes you just don't have that energy to show that love and to show that affection because, well, maybe you've just been cleaning up poop all morning, or, you've been doing all the chores and the laundry and changing the sheets again and answering that same question again. Okay, we're going to take a quick pause while I bring somebody else in that's joining us. Okay, and welcome, Carolyn. Please make sure that you are muted and your video is off. And if you have any questions, enter them into the chat. Otherwise, we will have question and answer at the end of the presentation. Welcome, Carolyn. So please mute and video off throughout the presentation. Thank you very much. Great. So number three, we are at a love sub. So just to review, I feel like since we just had a bunch of people hop in, this is what I get Hawaiian time for starting right at 8. I'm going to go right back to the quick beginning and just review it really quickly. So we're talking about your caregiver survival kit. What's in your kit in order to survive caregiving, just like an emergency kit? We need some non-tangible items in a survival kit just for caregivers. And so here are our top 10. Number one we talked about was having vision. Remember, these are non-tangible items. So you need to have vision for it's a good life for you and your caree. Making time for that. And how do you make time for it? Well, you need to have number two, your safe person. Your safe person is somebody who doesn't judge you, somebody who cries with you, laughs with you, who listens to everything and doesn't make excuses with you and just allows you to validate your feelings and experience. Not necessarily a spouse or a partner. This is someone in your life that you can go to and know that you can talk to them about anything. And this could be a close friend, a workmate, or even someone in your church. So, or a clergy. So it could be a psychologist that you have. It could be somebody who is professional at it as well. But you need your safe person. And it's really important to have that safe person. So in order to talk to them, you need time. So what's going to happen to your caree? You have to have what's called a love sub, number three. That's what we were just talking about. Having a love sub is a substitute. When your love and your care and affection is running really low because you're exhausted, you need somebody to step in. And this is really a great one. And you can see pictured here, this is a great one. Bring over the new babies to grandma and let her hold the babies. This is a great time for them to come and visit, and you can get away and have some time to talk with your safe person. By the way, the bottom picture is my cousin who passed away last year and with my mother. So she was my love sub, and she was a great love sub, and she would spend time with my mom. So this is really a great way. It's really a great way for kids too to learn that their first job really is to love and to help out with the kupuna. So what about someone then for your caree? You have a love sub, but for your caree, maybe you need someone. So that's number 4. And this is a dolly. And so pictured here is Dolly. D-O-L-L-Y, that's her name. And she's the most incredible person, and she was my mother's best friend. We had lost touch with her for many, many years, and just as my mother's dementia was in the last part of stage 4, she found her and found us, and she spent a lot of time with my mom, and she was one of the greatest people to have around because she was a friend, not related, not a sister, and she was somebody that had memories with my mom to help her remember, and they shared those together. They're peers, and they were really good friends. And so they had trust as well. So I knew that I could leave her with my mother and she would be in great hands. So at this point, you can have them help out. And even if it's for half an hour, it gives you time to yourself as a caregiver to help you find your balance. Number 5 in your caregiver survival kit is to put mindfulness. Mindfulness is really important. And this isn't just mindfulness for your caree. Mindfulness is when your heart and your mind or your brain hold hands. And they need to hold hands because a lot of times your heart takes over or your brain takes over, but you sometimes need to just have them hold hands together. So practicing mindfulness every day is always a great thing to do, using please and thank you. And maybe looking at things from I get to, not I have to. And that will help you protect yourself as well, because you see things in a positive light. So instead of, oh, I have to clean up this again, or oh, I have to cook and do this again, changing that to I get to do this. Because for some of you who are taking care of kupuna or your parents who are older, there will be a time that they won't be there and you won't get to. So perspective is a great thing. So listen mindfully to your caree for feelings as well as their words and helping you to be mindful. But mindfulness is really important for you as a caregiver. Breathe, be kind, and be thoughtful to you, to yourself. Remember how important you are in the equation. And of course, to the life of your caree, because without you, they wouldn't have anyone. So be mindful to yourself. Show yourself appreciation and be mindful of all that you do and make time for you. It's super important to do. So you need me time. So number 6 in your caregiving survival kit is me time. You can't help others if you become the one needing help. Your wellness matters. 50% of caregivers pass before the one they're caring for. I'm going to let that sink in for just a second and take a deep breath and realize that I believe there are 4 people on this call, maybe 5, but half of you are not going to survive your caregiving journey. 50% of all caregivers will pass, and that is the statistic in the United States right now, before their caree. That is not a good statistic. We need to change that, and that's why we're talking about wellness. So self-care is not an option. It is mandatory. It is mandatory in your caregiving journey. By the way, we were doing a pamper session for a bunch of about 300 care workers here in this picture. And at the end of the session, these are my 3 volunteers, the best caregivers you'll ever know, who got an opportunity to sit in the massage chairs themselves and have a little me time. So I love this picture for this slide. In order to have me time, though, we have to be really organized. You've got to get it together. And one of the best things you can do is number 7, have a routine. I know that's hard. I know things come up because I'm a caregiver too. I've done just what you've done. I've been just where you are. And a daily routine can really reduce those feelings of stress. And it can help you to feel a lot more secure and help you feel more accomplished at the end of the day. Try to include your carry as much as you can in all of the activities whenever possible. And this was a mistake I made. I always told my mother, no, it's okay, I got it. And so she eventually started to disappear and forget how to do things. And sometimes it's better to get them involved and have them do as much as possible, even if you have to take a slow down, because it makes them feel more of a person. And it helps you to not have to do everything and to be able to be more balanced and enjoy the moments more. It really does help both of you to feel healthier and happier. So schedule time for you as well. Plan social time. Are you connected socially? I hope you are. Because if you're not, then number 8 in your caregiving survival kit is community. You need community to survive this journey. What happens with caregivers is they become isolated and invisible and forgotten and depressed. And some of you may be feeling that right now. I know I had a battle with depression that I'm still fighting from caregiving. And families are so busy, right? Everyone gets caught up in their lives. And as the designated caregiver, it is vital for you to pull your support system together. So that support system, your community, includes family and friends, helpers, doctors, and other professionals. Let your doctor know you're a caregiver. That's vital. They will see you and treat you a lot differently if they understand that you are under the stress of caregiving. Let them know. And see your doctor on top of that, and any other professional that you have to go to. Let everyone know you're a caregiver. You know, the beauty of letting people know you're a caregiver is that they may be caregiving too and may need community as well. You'll be surprised how many caregivers there are out there and how many people understand what you're going through and how much more support you'll get by letting people know that you're caregiving in any way or form. And of course, there's support groups. So Give Me a Break offers weekly support sessions, both on Tuesday evenings. Last night we had our session at 8 p.m. and also Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. So either one of those, they're all online, they're all free, and it's just a community of caregivers supporting one another. And if you put that in your survival kit, you have a lot better chance to not be in that 50%. So number 9 is resources. And resources are super important, I know. I looked for resources and I couldn't always find them, or I didn't have time to find them. So that's what Give Me a Break does. We provide caregiving tips and tools for you that have been vetted. We have checked and talked to them. 99.9% of those resources that we have in our arsenal are all caregivers themselves, and they get it. They get what you're going through. It's important to know the knowledge of laws and rules and policies related to healthcare, family, and caregiving. And you can get that information from us, or you can get that on many, many other sites. AARP has excellent resources for caregivers. The Office of Elderly Affairs has amazing caregiver section. And so, of course, all of that you can find in our Giver's Guides online magazine. If you are not subscribed to our Giver's Guides online magazine, you need to get subscribed. It's $24.99 for 12-month subscription. It's all online. You can take it with you, view it on your phone, view it on your iPad, view it on your PC, anywhere, anytime. You can even cast it from your device and look at it on TV. And the pages flip, and they even make the flipping sound, so it's just like a real magazine that you don't have to carry around. It's already on your phone. And the beauty of it is it's written for caregivers by caregivers. And all the profits go to support Give Me a Break. And in that you'll find articles for caregivers, self-care guides, our calendar of events is phenomenal. And you'll find out all the different events and presentations that are out there. We have our own Dear Abby, which is our Ask Christy, and addresses any question that you have. And of course, you'll find there our trusted and vetted partners. So do you have a subscription? If you don't, go to giversguides.com right now and get one. Our May issue is coming out very soon, and there's some amazing articles in it, even one about dementia. Of course, number 10 of the top 10 things to have in your caregiving survival kit is a plan. Because we're thrust into caregiving and thrust into chaos, we don't ever stop to make a plan. We just go. We just do what we have to do. We just wake up in the morning and then do it. We just do what we do every day. So make a plan. Take a pause. Just for a second, take a pause and breathe. And make sure that you have a plan. But before that, before you even have to think about, after that fact, of course, for yourself, make a plan for you. And for, of course, your caree, because they probably didn't have one. But make your plan, your caregiving plan. Some of the vital things that you need are your financial plan, your medical plan, your legal plan. And of course, beyond that, you'll need a plan for your own caregiving. So how do you want to be taken care of? Who's part of your POA? Well, you can find out about that next month. And I'm going to be talking about more about your caregiving plan. You can see our calendar here. And let's see, the caregiving plan is right here on where is that? Wednesday the 10th and Saturday the 13th. What's your care receiving plan? And that you'll find in our outreach calendar for next month. It's on our website as well as in our Givers Guides magazine. But here also next week, Wednesday the 26th, I'll be talking about caregiving and dementia. And that one's a little more in depth. So it's really addressing all the different stages of dementia. So you can be part of this community. You can build your own caregiver kit right now. You can do it. You can find joy in caregiving and not just survive it, but you can thrive. We need to turn that statistic around, change it from 50% to maybe 5%. Wouldn't that be great? And we can do it just by a little bit of self-care and wellness and by taking a breath. So I hope that helps you. I hope that helps you build your survival kit.